The Philadelphia 76ers are still processing, and it seems like Tyrese Maxey has rose to the top, y'all. I got to talk to you guys today about whether Tyrese Maxey is, in fact, an elite guard now. Is he an elite player in the NBA?
Maxey's been amazing with what he's been asked to do early on in the season. He basically has 3 40-point games. He has 2, but he had 39 last night. Basically has 3 40-point games in 4 games and has been immense in closing these games for the Sixers. So I want to give Tyrese Maxey full credit. Everyone knows I've been critical of him in the past. I became a bit higher on him last season. This season, I think I'm becoming higher on him again. His 2-point scoring, like, he's been generating good looks, in my opinion, but he just hasn't been capitalizing on them. And I don't have any worries about that. I think that's going to revert back to the mean. I think the 3-point percentage is going to revert also back to the mean. I don't expect him to shoot 45 or whatever percent he's shooting right now. But 47. I do think he's one of the... Yeah, that's not going to sustain, obviously. But I do think he's one of the elite shooters in the NBA. One of the fastest guards in the league who can get to the rim, who's now added a floater game that I trust. He's even trying to take some mid-range pull-ups, which I think are viable counters to go to. So I think Maxey's really just refined his game and improved year upon year. So shout out to Tyrese Maxey. I think he's a definite all-star caliber guard.
I've had a really, really high opinion of him like for a long time now. I think I remember putting him in top 25 conversations. I said the gap between him and Jalen Brunson wasn't mammoth. Like a couple, like last year, and I think a lot of people were looking at his season last year. He had a bit of a shooting regression season last year, where he just didn't shoot well from 3. But I trust this guy as a shooter. I've seen what he's done in the playoffs. So, best point guard in the East, though.
Remember last year before he got hurt, he was a 28-6 guy, right? One of the best transition guards in the game. Great at getting downhill. I mean, we could talk about him with some of the better league guards in the game before he got hurt. So if I'm running down point guards, right? If I'm running down point guards, right? So SGA, Luka, Curry, Brunson, not Maxey. I'm sorry, Cade, Trey. Let's see.
I don't know if Trae Young is still better than Tyrese Maxey in 2025.
Trey, let's see.
I'm not sure.
Darius Garland, LaMelo Ball.
I'm open to the conversation.
I said Brunson already, didn't I?
Yeah, I know Halliburton's not playing, but that would be an interesting conversation too. It would be an interesting conversation.
Jamal Murray, Ja Morant. So where is he in the pantheon of these guys? Yeah, so I got Trae Young, Cade, and Foxy. I got them dudes in around the same tier. Maxey, I think he's better than LaMelo Ball. I've always said that. I think he's better than LaMelo Ball. I've always felt like he was better than LaMelo Ball. I think he's a better decision maker. I think he's a better shot creator. I think he's a better shot maker. I think he's a better transition player. I think he's better on defense than him. So I've always thought that he was.
You think Tyrese Maxey is a better transition player than LaMelo Ball?
100% I do.
His ability to just get downhill is in transition as a guard.
Yep.
What's Ja and De'Aaron?
As far as like the getting downhill,
but then LaMelo's
when you factor in like
in transition,
when you factor in the passing
on his Magic Johnson
like transition, then I think LaMelo definitely closes that gap as far as transition play. But I'm not mad at Tyrese Maxey, in transition. I think he's just gotten better, changing up his pace. You know what I'm saying? I always had a issue with a player that quick and that fast not being able to create much separation in like isolation situations. He's gotten better at that. And right now, I mean, he's hitting 48% of his threes. So again, like,
no, that's not sustainable. Let's chill out on that.
So Maxey has shot, not on the same volume, but he has shot 42% and 43%. And he shot 43% on 6 threes.
No, he's an elite shooter.
He's an elite shooter.
He just ain't
give him adequate spacing and don't make him the focal point of a defense. Maxey can shoot 40%.
Yeah,
like right now they got Joel Embiid farming his DHO assists right now, and like Maxey's getting some of the cleanest looks off those DHOs, and I trust him to knock those down with regularity. When Jared McCain comes back, I expect him to knock them down with regularity. Quentin Grimes as well. So like, yeah, I think Maxey's gonna shoot the hell out the ball this year. What does that reflect percentage-wise? Maybe it's 38, maybe it's 42, somewhere in that range. But he's one of the elite shooters in the NBA for sure. And then his quickness is really second to none. I don't like you got him, De'Aaron, Ja. Like that's pretty much it, unless I'm forgetting someone notable. Yeah. Like it's ridiculous. I don't know where I would rank him. I do think Trey started the season poorly. So like if we're just doing like based on how these guys have started the season, I think Maxey's been the best point guard in the East. If we're doing just who I think is like probably the better player, I'd probably have him Halley not included, the third best point guard in the East behind Brunson and Trey. But I'd have the Trey conversation because the defense is problematic. And I really do need to see if he can actually score the ball.
Score the ball.
Yeah, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt saying it's 3-point variance right now. But if he can't score the ball, then genuinely willing to.
How has he been better than Brunson?
Got it there.
How has he been better than Brunson
This season?
Yeah, so far.
I don't think he's been a liability on defense. I think that's cool.
Not at all.
I think Brunson still is. I think as a scorer, he's been the second best scorer in the East behind Giannis.
You're talking volume and minutes, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about getting buckets, knowing your team needs you to get. Oh, I forgot LaMelo exists. So I know I forgot someone. Getting buckets, knowing your team needs buckets, whether that's in close games, whether that's to stop a run, whatever the case may be. Yep. Shooting the three at an elite clip, so providing elite space and value, having the speed to get into the teeth of the defense. Offensively, I don't think Maxey's done really anything wrong.
But Brunson's playing playing less than 35 minutes, and he's averaging 32 points a game.
He is, yes.
So, like, clip for clip, he's been more efficient, and he's scoring at the same clip. So your argument is
I mean, sure. Well, no, I think he's also been better offensively. I just said that. You're the one who went per minute or whatever. But like, based on the per minute argument, I could argue that Joel Embiid's been Philly's best offensive player, and I just don't think that's true.
Yeah, we definitely can't make that argument right now.
Different.
Not no more. We can't.
It's not. It's based
Ron,
on
you talking about ranked Tyrese
based
Maxey,
on per minute argument. The guy's
player
averaging 16 in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but
and not to mention that's based on a game where he had 4 points against the Celtics. The last two games, he's averaging 22 and a half in 21 minutes.
But we're dealing with,
which means he's actually averaging more than a point a minute.
Okay, we're dealing with really, really small sample sizes here. 4 minutes, right? You've said yourself in this episode
that his minutes 4 game samples.
Okay, so you said earlier in the season that earlier in this episode that his minutes are going to go down, right?
Yeah, Maxey. Yeah.
Yes, and Brunson is averaging like the lowest number of minutes he's averaged in 3 years, and he's putting up
like more Thibodeau anymore. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, and I'm saying like adjusting to a new offense, right, where the ball is just not all.
I'm not saying Maxey's a better player than Brunson. I even said that. I think Brunson's the best point guard in the East. But this season, I think Maxey's played better in the 4 game sample we've seen. But I started it with saying Brunson, I think, is the best point guard in the East. I don't even think Brunson has a peer in the East. That's how high I am on Brunson. I think he's the I've been I think Brunson is very clearly the best point guard in the East. I've been saying that. But this season, I think
clearly though, Mars, because we did see Maxey get busy against Brunson in the playoffs. We did see that, but I think we got shortchanged last year because he got hurt, right? Because I thought that he was playing at that level where we could have a legit conversation about him being arguably the best point guard in the East, even though that hasn't been a conversation in a while. Like maybe Maxey makes it a conversation this year. It's about to be now. But when they're both best trade at scoring, and Jalen Brunson is one of the best scoring point guards I've ever seen in my life, and Tyrese Maxey's like really good to maybe elite at that. Those are two different tiers of players. But now we're seeing Maxey, who is. We're talking about it being sustainable, the minutes of 43 minutes a game. Okay, I might have went over a little overboard with that being sustainable, but is it sustainable for 35 to 38 minutes a game for him at the league guard spot? Is that ridiculous? I think that's sustainable. And in that amount of time, a guy like Maxey who affects the game, he puts so much pressure on your defense. I'm not fighting Jalen Brunson, even last night, putting pressure on your defense at the long ball line. But I think Maxey puts so much pressure on your defense at the rim and in the paint. When he does that at that rapid of a rate, I think that weakens your defense way more than what Jalen Brunson does. If I got to deal with an athletic guard all night coming at me like that, as opposed to Jalen Brunson, who, don't get me wrong, he does beat up on me, but at 6'5", as fast as he is, as athletic as he is, I got to deal with him in the half court.
Who is crazy generous? He's 6'2" now. 6'5".
Are you talking about Maxey? Yeah, Maxey's
not
6'5". I promise you.
I thought he was like 6'5". Because he played like a way bigger guard than what he is.
He got long arms.
He
got long arms.
Even 6'2", 6'3", a guy putting that much pressure on my defense, both in transition and in the half court, I think that wears on us as opposed to Jalen Brunson. Don't get me wrong. I think that he wears on us too, but not to the same effect of Maxey.
Jalen Brunson's a better passer and a playmaker than Tyrese Maxey as well. I don't really know anything Tyrese Maxey does better on offense than Jalen Brunson, honestly.
Transition.
If we're not saying, well,
he a better shooter too.
Better 3-point shooter.
He shoot a three for sure.
But like outside of that,
he gets downhill better.
He gets all the way to the rim better. But like actually
I think he's a
driving
better
and getting
passer
to
than Brunson
comfortable
too. I
sweet
think
spots, I'd
he's more of a
argue that.
You
willing
think he's a
passer
better
than
passer
Brunson
than Brunson?
I think he's more of a willing
Well,
passer.
remember, this is he thinks Maxey's a better playmaker than James Harden. So you know,
Let's
if
get to the
Maxey's
bottom of
better than
something real
LaMelo,
quick.
like I don't know for sure if he is.
I don't know that either. We skipping all the way to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, like for me, Jalen Brunson got it. The next group down is where you get to Cade, Trey, assuming he can score once again. Put the caveat out there. Cade, the same thing actually. To be fair, Cade, Trey, LaMelo, a healthy Halliburton, sure. Like that's the next group in the East, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd probably have Halliburton like slightly above, but like
Can we clear something
Cade,
up really
Trey,
quickly, Moss?
LaMelo, yes.
So number one,
Or
Ron.
Garland.
When we had that debate, I had to argue for Tyrese Maxey. Do I necessarily believe that? No, I don't necessarily believe that, but I had to argue for him. And I thought I put together as a compelling argument as I possibly could. So immediately when I'm arguing for him, everybody I think he's better than him. However, what I'm seeing right now from Tyrese Maxey this season, real talk, and what I'm looking at from him in terms of the playmaking, in terms of the passing, I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous to think that I ain't talking about James Harden. I'm just talking about him being a playmaker and being a passer. It's gotten better, much better.
Yeah, he's gotten better for sure. Maxey's definitely elevated his game. I just want to see Maxey kind of do this for a little bit longer before we start saying he's better than Jalen Brunson.
Part of my thing with Maxey is, and this is similar to Shea last year, where it's like he didn't just start doing this. Maxey averaged 25 and 6 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Last season, he averaged 26 and 6. This season, albeit small sample size, 37 and 8. And in between there, averaging 30, shooting 40% from three in a playoff series, a 6-game series against the Knicks.
Huge.
And got busy too.
Yep.
So I'm saying,
And
like, this
Brunson
isn't
scored
new.
like 40 straight.
I see, real talk. I'm not
Yeah,
trying
Brunson
to
started,
compare this to
started that
Brunson.
series trash and then like scored 40 every game.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just merely put out what Tyrese Maxey has did, what his resume looks like. This isn't new.
Maxey is nice. Maxey's nice. Maxey's elite. I'll give you the word. Maxey's
We'd all say
elite.
top 5 point guard in the East, right?
You know,
especially now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5 point guard in the East.
Yeah.
Ron, he's in that tier with
That's awesome.
with Austin Reeves. They're duking it out right now to see who's. We finna start respecting Austin. Yeah, we finna.
I mean, to be fair, if you're gonna do this off 4-game samples,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Point
let me
guards
take
in
it
the
to the
East,
poll.
Jalen Brunson, you put him above Tyrese Maxey. You put LaMelo below. I mean,
Miles, what's the separator between
we
him
all
and-
just
him
said
and
yes
LaMelo
to
Ball?
top 5, but I don't know if we've completely thought this through.
You looking at Tyrese
well,
Maxey and you looking at LaMelo Ball. What's the separator between them two in your estimation?
Discipline.
Maxey's a better scorer, I think, significantly.
Is it all the way around? Is it one specific place? He's a better bucket getter, or
Just how much better he is at getting to the rim and generating easy offense for himself. He's also shoots a 3 better. But LaMelo is like worlds better as a passer, worlds better as a playmaker.
Yeah.
I can get with that.
Like they're in different stratospheres. Defensively, LaMelo's been playing defense this season.
He has.
And on defense this season, 4-game sample size for both of them, LaMelo's been better than Maxey. He's bigger, which helps. I don't know. I just think that's similar. For the sake of today's conversation, I'm fine pointing Maxey above LaMelo.
What
But,
about
like,
Trae
they're
Young?
in the same. This season, Maxey clears.
No, forget
overall,
about this. Forget about this.
overall.
I'm even
Maxey and
overall though.
Maxey and Trey is similar because it's like Trey clears as a passer, playmaker.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the 3 best passers on the planet, but his scoring is so limited, and defensively, he's a nightmare.
What about
So-
all NBA hopeful Derek White?
As you were saying, Mars,
Same.
it clears.
The
as
The
you
only
were
names I'm
saying, the
entertaining is Cade, LaMelo, and Trey. I'm not, and Garland. I listen to Garland. Everyone else,
Well,
I'm not.
I was
I'm not
about.
listening.
That was my. That was my next question. Penn,
So that means
because
I would have
when
him
you
at 5th at worst. Brunson, Cade, LaMelo, Trey. Oh no, I'd have him at 6th at worst. At absolute worst, I'd have him 6th.
Mhm.
I
At
think
best, I'd
something-
have him 2nd.
I think that there's something that needs to be said about a league guard when you're talking about being efficient. And I mean, I think Garland, for what he's good at, I mean, he doesn't really play outside of himself. And I trust him a lot more with the basketball, especially when we get into the meat and potatoes of the game, than I would Tyrese Maxey. Because I know that, I understand that you have to take chances in order to get to where you're trying to go. I do understand that. But I feel like Darius Garland will take chances, but I think he'll take them in a space where he knows that he's going to be successful in them more often than not. I think he's going to take shots that he knows he's going to make. And I value that as a league guard. I think he's going to make passes that he thinks that he can make. I mean, and that comes with efficiency when I think about a league guard. And on top of that, in terms of his efficiency, the fact that he doesn't really shoot a lot of bad shots, the fact that he takes care of the basketball the way that he does, I really value that. I really value that in a lead guard. That's not to say that I don't value that with Maxey, because I think Maxey does that. I just think that Darius Garland does that better than him.
Garland's more of like a pure point guard. I know he scores a lot, but strikes me as more of a game manager long term. Whereas Maxey is more of a, I hate to use the word combo guard, but he has more of a scoring instinct. Like, I get my bucket. If you cut me off, now I'll make the second pass, right? So that's more or less where I'm at with that, which is you probably need to have, like, the best pairing with him was prime James Harden, right? Like, that was great in theory. They didn't have a lot of success, but that's probably the type of, playmaking wing you got to have with him.
It's the choice,